Back here on Flashpoint with the new tournament director of the Rocket Classic, Mark Hollis.
It's great to be with you, Jason.
It always is. This is kind of an exciting time for this tournament, but also, I don't want to say a lot of pressure, but this is a big year for that tournament, correct?
It is a big year, and it's there's a lot to do. It's a new role for me. I've been around the tournament since we started it back in 2019, but now you're getting into more of the work I did like on a Carrier Classic game, where you're getting into the logistics, the infrastructure, building a city basically in the middle of a field that is now the beautiful Detroit Golf Club. I'm
glad you brought up the Carrier, and because my thought is, and everybody thinks, they remember your Michigan State days where you came up with the Cold War, that idea, playing a basketball game on a Carrier, things where people think, where did this come from? Do you try and take that sort of thinking to this tournament, or are you thinking more of a traditional type of way for this?
So everything we did at Michigan State was a memory creator, and that's what we're looking at here as well, is how can we elevate the event to create great memories for those that are in hospitality areas, those fans that come out and are on the grounds. The fans in the grounds are really the heart of any event. I recall, I don't think I ever missed a Buick Open, and when you go to that, it's, you know, I wasn't sitting in hospitality, yet I had a wonderful time walking the grounds. We're going to create some ways to open up some areas where fans can have an opportunity to see more, participate more, take the kids out, do more, and I think we're going to elevate little touches across the board. The whole team here at Rocket are excited about leaning in a little bit more this year and kind of having a good time with it.
Some of the X factors of previous events, like the big ones at Michigan State you talked about, where they would have those X factors. Sometimes weather, golf tournaments always have the weather to worry about, but the Rocket also has to worry about who you're able to get to come here, and that, of course, attracts fans. How do you go about trying to get the biggest names in the game?
Yeah, we've already started the process. A lot of it is working through agents, and some is the relationships that you've built with the players over the years. We've had a lot of them on the radio show that I do on WJR, and develop relationships that way, but we'll hit the road in January, February, and kind of start the process, and then kind of have a sequence of touch points where we believe the players will be. The date we have, extremely helpful this year. At the end of July, you're 2 weeks from the FedEx Cup playoffs. Guys are going to need points that are kind of either just in or just out, and they're going to want to get off that bubble and pick up some points here in Detroit, so that's going to be favorable. I think it's also favorable for fans. You know, you look at in June, late June, July 4th, you want to go up north, you want to enjoy what this great state has to offer. Late July, you're not quite ready for back to school yet, but you're kind of coming out of that vacation cottage mode, and I think it's going to be an opportunity for more people to show up at the Detroit Golf Club.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where competing with a lot of different events in June, so that could make a huge...
Fireworks, Grand Prix, you know, there's so much going on. Now you got that little space, and I think, I agree with you. It's going to be an opportunity to space it out a little bit.
Do you have like other ideas? You mentioned like things for fans to get out there, like outside golf ideas, and not to bring up the competition, but Live Golf was in the area last year, and kind of it was a much different type of event. Do you borrow anything from that, or is this you're going your own way? Obviously, two different golf institutions.
Yeah, I asked the guy that I work with, Matt Kaminsky at the PGA Tour, are you ready for me? You know, I think the PGA Tour needs, and Brian Rolfe, who's a new commissioner, was here with the NFL draft when he was with the NFL. He's looking at how do you change the tour in a way that is better for the players and better for the fans, and I think we're going to test some things here. It's just my nature. There's a swimming pool out there. There's some fun things that you could do around each day with a variety of things that maybe not everybody, but some like. It could be a cigar lounge, there could be a casino night, there could be some more music that comes out.
Yeah.
Maybe a fashion show down the 18th fairway. Those are ideas that we're contemplating right now. There's many more. And as I throw these out, your listeners are going to send even more to you, and you're going to share them with me.
Yeah, that's a good one. I hadn't thought about that from like a fashion show. We're going full Happy Gilmore here now. In your mind, having done a lot of big events, and you mentioned the NFL draft, I know you're heavily involved in that. When you look at a golf tournament, and I was kind of surprised to learn that a lot of golf tournaments, including the Rocket, had an outside company that handled this, and maybe somebody who doesn't have the Detroit knowledge that you and your team have. What's the pressure level like to pull it off, knowing that, like I mentioned, it's the last year of a contract and it's kind of a big year?
When I took the athletic director job at Michigan State, I cited Dan Gilbert's isms. He means that much to me that in 2008, that was there. the pressure on me is to do good for Dan. Dan brought this event to Detroit for the people of Detroit, for the community. It's been a game changer here. I was in sessions with the NFL, with the NCAA, and I will argue that neither one of those are here without the Rocket Classic. It was kind of that bringing big sports events back to Detroit, along with the Detroit Grand Prix and all that Penske and Bud Denker do there. So you take that perspective, and now you're going into a year. We had a challenging year last year. We've gone through the pandemic. We've had tornadoes. We've had all kinds of issues. And we're lining everything up for this to be something special for Dan and special for the community. The community runs this event, from the DGC membership to folks that lean in and all different kinds of vendors. It's a local event, and it's for the community. So it's by the community, for the community, and that's what we're going to execute on behalf of Dan's vision back in 2018.
Yeah, and I know you're still, it's an everyday thing going all the way forward. Still got about half a year though, but have you realized what the biggest challenge is at this point yet, or?
The biggest challenge is making sure the build fits the demand, that you have the right infrastructure and you don't overbuild, you don't underbuild. The volunteers, more than 2,000 will be out there helping, and that comes back to the community. It's working with the DGC, who just redid their course, and it's beautiful. The PGA was out, they looked at it in 2018, and they were questioning if a tour event could be out there. They were out there this fall, and they're like, this could be a major. Course for a major. They're that impressed with the changes that have taken place. So I compliment both the leadership and the members at the club to have that kind of change.
That really is huge. And you mentioned a lot of some of the side events that could be out there, part of it. Anything you wanted to make sure fans and people know about, even at this point? I know as we always get closer, there's certain things you throw out on the calendar, but anything right now you want fans to know about?
No, there'll be a lot of announcements that are going to come up. You know how I like to talk, so we'll be making some announcements on players as those start to come in and create some energy. But it's I know how I felt when the Buick went away, and I know the PGA Tour is going through a process of maybe fewer events but bigger events. And as we look at it, there's a lot of partners in this thing, and all the partners need to see value. Part of that value is for the community to show that they love this event by showing up, by watching it on TV, and we're going to do everything we can to give them a great show.
I think everybody's excited. At least we know Tom Izzo will definitely be in the Pro-Am. I mean, he can't get out of it now.
Tom will be in the Pro-Am. I think we'll get Jay Batt. We might even get Pat Fitzgerald over here.
Hey,
so it'll be a lot of fun. Maybe some guys from Ann Arbor. Maybe.
Looking forward to that. Mark, thank you always.
Thank you.
Appreciate the conversation.
Jason.
Mark Hollis, new tournament director of the Rocket Classic, coming next summer. More Flashpoint after this.